back on the Pete the Planner Show. I am the aforementioned Pete the Planner. I love this show, especially if you listen on radio, because they pay this like really expensive voice talent guy to go, "You're listening to Pete the Planner." And he's amazing. Like on the podcast, you don't get that. Because the production value of this show, although, Nicole, you do a great job for the podcast.
Thank you.
We don't have a guy that goes, "You're listening to Pete the Planner."
I could do that.
Yeah. Just kidding. Totally weird. You know what, though? When I just looked up into the camera and making that face at you, I saw myself in the monitor and I made a weird thing with my teeth. You can see that at PeteThePlanner.tv. Let's get into the next question.
What is with mouths around here?
I don't know. Hey, Pete. It's from Brian with a Y.
Oh.
You know, I've made it a thing in my life where I want to be more accepting of the differences of opinions and just general difference. Remember when you're in middle school, like you can't figure out that people are different from you. It's like you shouldn't make fun of them, but you don't know that yet. You're trying to figure that out.
Yeah, you don't get that quite yet.
I have regrets about those periods of my life. I wasn't a total jerk, but I was as much of a jerk as any other little 12-year-old. But now I look back and I'm like, wow, how ridiculous are 12-year-olds, right? Anyway, but seriously, Brian with a Y is terrible. All right, Brian, I'm 24. I recently left my first job out of college. During my almost 2 years at this company, I saved over 22,000 American dollars in a Roth 401k. Now that I no longer work at this company, I want to roll out that 401k into my personal Roth IRA, which already has around $35,000 in it. If you're doing the math at home, brother's got $57,000 saved for retirement, and Nicole, he's 24 years old.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Wonder if he's single. What do you think? You mean to check him out?
I think I'm good.
All right. And in my mind, there's no downside to doing this, as it will allow me to have access to thousands of lower fee funds instead of being constricted to the 40 below average funds that are currently in the Roth 401k. I graduated with a degree in finance. Here's the thing. I say finance. What do you say?
Finance.
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 Finance?
Finance.
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 And I've always been very involved in my financial life. In my mind, there's no reason not to roll out this 401k to a Roth IRA, but I just wanted to check out and get your opinion. Thanks in advance, Brian with a Y.
Thanks, Brian with a Y.
Okay, so first of all, Brian, kudos, dude. I sound like Michelle Tanner.
I was going to say, you sound like me.
Yeah, that was a reference to
Full House?
Full House. Have I ever told you my Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen story?
I don't know if I know the story, but I know you have a special relation.
$57,000 is very impressive, Brian.
You just shake your head.
Absolutely roll it into your IRA. Like, okay, so let's teach some stuff. These days, you can have either a Roth 401k or the traditional 401k. The primary difference, is that with a traditional 401k, you don't pay tax right now on the money you contribute to that account. Instead, you get to deduct that contribution from your taxable income. Nicole, using round numbers,
yes.
Let's say I make 100 GER a year and I want to put $5,000 into a traditional 401k. That means my taxable income is now $95,000 because I don't have to pay tax on the money I put in the 401k. It grows tax deferred, meaning I don't pay taxes as it grows. Till the age of 59 and a half is when I can access it. And when I go to access it, I just have to pay tax on the withdrawals because that's money I've never paid tax on. That is a traditional 401k. That is a traditional IRA. And now we talk about a Roth. A Roth 401k, it's the same thing as a traditional 401k, except you don't deduct your contributions now. If I make 100 GER and I put $5,000 into my Roth 401k, I have to pay a tax on $100,000 instead of $95,000. But when I take the money out of the Roth 401k, past the age of 59 and a half, I won't have any tax liability whatsoever because I've already paid taxes. Nicole, I feel like that was a really good explanation.
That was a really good explanation. Even I followed you.
And the same is true with a Roth IRA, right? IRA, if you don't know, is individual. I almost said it wrong. Is an individual retirement account. Individual retirement account. It's not one that is brought to you through your employer. Your 401k or 403b, in this case, a Roth 401k, is an employer-sponsored retirement plan. So long story short, Brian with a Y, but you know what? You deserve the long story because of that superfluous Y in your name. You know what I mean? Like, it distracts me.
Well, yeah, it's like if I had an H in my name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
Was that me or was that you?
That was me. I'm popular.
You are such a broadcast professional. The way
Thank
you
you.
silence your devices.
Thank
It's
you.
fantastic. We'll talk.
As you play with a magnet.
I do play with a magnet. Call your I can't give the number out over the air, though.
Oh.
Okay, so anyway, absolutely rolled over. Now, anytime you're considering rolling over a traditional 401k or a Roth 401k into a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA, here's what you need to know. Number one, the current 401k, is it cheap and is it good? If it's cheap and it's good, leave it alone. There's zero reason to not leave it alone because it's cheap and it's good investments. And so why pay additional fees? Because a lot of times if you roll into an IRA product, it could be more expensive, especially if an advisor does it for you. Just leave it alone because it's cheap and good. Now, if it's expensive and bad, get it out of there. And like our friend, let's call him Byron. And like our friend Byron has here, let's just say that he gets to choose any funds he wants. Now, I do want to take umbrage with the idea that he now has access to thousands of lower fees. That's true, but you don't need thousands of lower fees. You need one.
You need one.
Lower funds. You need one lower fee fund. That's it. Thousands, who cares? I think we get really bent out of shape with options sometimes.
Yeah.
That's why it's funny, and this is going to be old guy talk. So we call this segment "Aging with Peter."
Oh.
Let's call this segment "I'm Getting Older." Okay, I used to buy things with all the features, Nicole. You know what I mean?
All
Like
of them?
all the features.
Like what?
Let's say a car. I was going to get a
Yes.
new car, and I'd be like, well, I want to make sure it has heated seats. I want to make sure it's got the blah, blah, blah. I used to be that person. Or I mean, car's a bad example. Well, it's a good
I do
example,
love
but I need a
heated
different
seats.
example. Let's say a computer.
Yeah.
This computer I have. I could say, well, I want the most RAM and the most gig. I want all these things. But now I'm to this point, I'm like, I don't want all these options because I don't use all these options. And I don't
Right.
want to pay for all these options. Just give me what I need.
Yeah. It was like when we got new computers.
Right. Brian, you need 1 to 5 low fund fees. You don't need thousands. So don't get too caught up in that. But absolutely roll it into your IRA, your Roth IRA for that matter. $57,000 at the age of 24. You know what I'm going to do, Nicole?
What are you going to do, Pete?
We are about to... We're going to calculate when that dude's going to be a millionaire.
Okay.
All right. So how much do you think he's putting in a month? That's pretty aggressive. I'm going to say $1,000 a month. $1,500 a month is what we're going with.
Yeah.
He's 24. He has $57,000 in there. I have 57 seconds to do this left. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so nervous. He's 24 years old, right? So let's say he's got 43 years till he's 67. Let's change the interest rate. He will be a millionaire on January 31st of 2037 if he keeps it the exact same pace he's at. By the time he retires, if he does not increase his contributions, if he keeps it at what I believe to be $1,500 a month, he will have $8.47 million by the time he is 67 years old, which is retirement age, which would give him a monthly income of $19,700, but post-inflation adjustment would be about $6,800 a month of retirement income. Good job, Byron. I'm really proud of you, and we will send you the audio. Coming out after the break, more. I'm Pete the Planner. This is Michelle.